most formal approach for development of the information system in the system development life cycle. Analyze the system in 3 dimensions. That is what a feasibility study, and I need to check out with a requirement analysis, I need to check out with a structured analysis. So in this system design, analysis will going to be converted into physical system design. Requirement analysis, the analysis is done about who requires what information, on what time and when and why. Hello everybody, a warm welcome to one and all. I am Rohini TS, Assistant Professor, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence, MYSURU. So in my today's session, I will be discussing about B.B.A's second year, that is semester 3 of a subject called Management Information System. So in short, we will be calling it as MIS. I am dealing with the module 4 of the session 1 and the chapter name is what? Developing Information System. We'll see the syllabus copy of this module 4. So that is developing information system. So within that it has a content system, analysis and design, and implementing information system, acquisition, managing and controlling information system, resources, and then information resources management. These are the content of module 4, that is developing information system. We'll see the first topic, that is planning of information system. So as we all know that if I wanted to run any of the business or if I wanted to run any of the enterprise or organization, what is the main aim? I just wanted to reach my goal. So if I wanted to reach my goal, then I have to feed important data which is necessary for my organization. So by feeding the effective and efficient data, then it will be helpful in order to gain the goal or in order to reach the goal. So for that, planning is so important. How we are going to plan the organization in a systematic manner, everything will going to reflect in the result of the organizations or an enterprise. So for that purpose, planning is important in the information system. So the success of any information system in the management depends on how well the system has been planned and developed. So what are the terminologies we are considering, how we are planning the organization to be like, then these are the plans and goals, everything will going to be matters in order to achieve the aim or in order to achieve the goal of an organization. This information system includes development of long range plans of the MIS and contents of the MIS plans and MIS goals and objectives. So when it comes to the development of long range plans of the MIS, it is mainly deals with what? So in the earlier days we were thinking that computers are only meant for the purpose of computing, accounting or doing of some casual working procedures, but nowadays we got to know that computer is not only meant for all those things, it is also considered as what? Information system. So with the help of that computer system, we have to build a very effective management information system. It has to reach to the long goal. So it has to plan, like it has to be long range of plans in order to reach to the goals of the organization with the help of MIS, and we have to think about the contents of the MIS plan, and we have to set some goals and objectives. So we have to think in a manner how much time it requires, like what are the scheduling it has to take place. So what are the policies, rules and regulation, what are the principle are we supposed to follow. Everything needs to be combined in order to plan it in a well mannered way. Then only we are going to help in order to gain the success in the organization. We'll see the next topic, that is development of information system. So now we planned about how the MIS must be, that means how the information must be. After planning that information system, it has to be developed, it has to come to the existence. That is regarding what? Development of the information system. This system development consists of 2 broad phases. So that is, it includes analysis and design. I have to analyze what are the needs and things of my organization, then how I am going to design that, how I am going to regulate that. So those 2 phases together will be termed as what? System development. So system development consists of analysis and design. So now we'll see what is this system analysis is all about. It will going to include Analysis of a problem which the organization will try to solve with an information system. I'm using some information system in order to analyze what is the problem. As we all know that we are going to use a computer system in order to minimize the efforts of a human beings. It has to give the resultant in order to make a best decision. So here also I have to analyze the system. That analysis will going to include analysis of a problem which the organization will try to solve. I have a problem in an organization. I need to solve that problem. So in order to solve that problem, how we are going to use the information system, how we are going to use the approaches of information system by analyzing the problem of an organization, what it is facing. This is regarding analysis. Next we have a system design. What the system design will going to do? It will going to have a details of how a system will need the information requirements as determined by the system analyst and system development team. So this system design will going to give you the physical way of approaching the data and information in order to make a business decision. This system design will going to provide all the details of how a system will needs to be as per the requirement of system analyst and system development team. How they analyze the system, how the system must be, what are the requirements it includes, how I am supposed to design that system, everything will going to be concerned with the respect of this system design. Then how can we develop this system? So by using which approaches can we develop the system? That must include both system analysis as well as the system design. Then only I can call that as a development of the information system. So it will going to include system development life cycle. In short, it will be termed as SDLC, and we have a prototyping, rapid application development. So in short, it will be termed as RAD, and also we have end user development. I will just brief out regarding this SDLC, prototype, and this rapid application development, RAD, and end user development. So when it comes to the system development life cycle, that is SDLC, it is like a step-by-step procedure. So if I am developing some of the information system, I have to get the data from different sources. Then I have to analyze whether it is required for my organization or not. If it is yes, then I have to do the analysis. What are the input it requires? What are the output it requires? How I am supposed to process that and all. Everything needs to be done in the analysis. Once the analysis is done, I have to design that system. After designing, I have to code that. I need to change the for the coding, we are going to convert the design into some programmable language. Then I will check the errors. If there is no errors, then it will going to be implemented and it will reach us to the user. So it is step by step. So if I missed any of the step and if I am not okay with any of the requirement, then it has to be done again from scratch. That is related to SDLC. Next I have a prototyping. Here it is like a dummy model. We are not exactly creating the exact model, or we are not creating the exact information system. Instead of that, what I am creating, I am just creating a dummy model. If the changing requirements of the user is getting changed again and again, I will just put that into my dummy system and I will run that again. Once the requirements are okay with from the side of customer, then they are going to start producing that information system. Next we have a RAD application development or rapid application development. So what we are going to do in this? So in this, once the requirement is given, in the prototyping, once all the requirement is given, for example, you consider I have 10 requirements. So in my dummy model, I will just going to execute, or I will just going to implement 1 to 5. Okay. So by tomorrow, if you are giving me another 5 requirements of user, then I will again add to this system. Okay. So if they are done with all the 10 requirement, then only I will going to start this for the execution. That I will just going to start with the development. But in the RAD, if I have 5 requirements today, you consider I have 5 requirements today. For their 5 requirements, they are just going to computer, they are just going to develop an information system. But if you are coming up with another 5 requirements by tomorrow, then also they are going to integrate the 5 more requirements to the existing system. Then they are going to develop it. Okay, so this is the difference between prototyping and RAD. And we have a end user development. It is like recharging to your mobile. Are we going to wait for anybody in order to recharge our mobile or any of the network? No. So we are going to have some of the application tools, and we have some of the application software. By making use of that, we are going to develop their own system requirements. That is regarding what? End user development. Now I hope you all got the brief out things regarding the SDLC, prototyping, RAD and this end user development. We'll see the first one, that is system development life cycle. Very important question for 15 marks. What is this SDLC is all about? It is a most commonly used and most traditionally used system development approach. So this is known as what? Step-by-step procedure. So if I messed up with any of the designing, I have to do it again from the collection of the data. So if I missed anything regarding testing, I can't go in the testing tool only. Instead of that, I have to do it from the first step itself. That is why it is considered as what? Somehow difficult, and we cannot do some of the manipulations in between. So if you wanted to do any of the addition or deletion of the data, it has to be takes place again from the scratch. So it is a most formal approach for development of the information system in the system development life cycle. So this approach is used to develop the information system. Solution can be viewed as a step process. So that is why we are going to call this as a information system development life cycle, and it is also called as system development life cycle. In short, it will be termed as SDLC. So we'll see the step-by-step procedure in the SDLC. What is the first step? We have a preliminary system study. I don't know what is my system is all about. I have to think about the problem. So in the preliminary study, it will going to investigate the system under consideration and gives a clear picture of what actually the physical system is all about. I don't know how the physical system will going to be look like once it is developed. So in the preliminary system study, we are just going to investigate under some of the condition, and it will going to give a clear picture about the system, what the physical system is all about, how it will going to look like after its development. Next, we have a feasibility study. So in this, we are just checking whether it is possible to implement my system under the information system or not. So if it is yes, then how much time and money it requires. So how many human resources I require. So those are the things which comes under feasibility study. So it is the proposed system in the light of its workability, whether it is going to be work or not, in order to meeting the user requirement, effective use of resources and cost effectiveness. I have to think about whether this system or information system will going to approaches, or it will going to satisfy the requirements of a customer or not. I'm just checking feasibility, whether it is possible or not. So if it is yes, then we are going to have this detailed system study. So this will going to carry out the detailed study of the various operation which will needs to be performed by a system and relationship with and outside the system. Once I got to know this will going to be feasible of implementing, then the detailed system study will going to study about features or various operations which will going to be performed by each system and their relationship, how it is interacting with each other, how one system is compatible with another system. Every detailed study will going to be takes place in the detailed system study. So next we have a system analysis. So as I told, analysis is nothing but we are analyzing in the terms of input, output, what are the time it requires, how much it will cost. Every analysis we have to follow. So here it is a process of collecting factual data. So I got to know that this system is going to be implemented. Now I have to collect the factual data. Then I have to understand the processes which is involved in identifying the problem. What is this problem is all about? I have to collect what is the root cause analysis, how this problem occurred, where it has been occurred, why it has been occurred. Everything I have to analyze and recommending feasible suggestions for improving the system functioning. So in the system analysis, what we are going to do, I will just get to know what is my problem is all about, how can I solve that problem in order to get a benefit out of that information system. Next we have a system design. So in this system design, analysis will going to be converted into physical system design. What we are doing, I have some of the problem and I have a solution for that, and I need to do some processing and all. So that textual form will going to be turned into some of the physical design. That will be termed as what? System design. Now I got to know that I gathered the information, I analyzed the information, I designed the information. I wanted to make it work. How I am going to do that? With the help of coding. So coding is nothing but in which programmer converts the program specification into some computer instruction. By making use of that computer instruction, that will be referred as a program. So that programs are a set of instructions will going to make the computer work. So as per the requirements of a customer, which is given in the preliminary test itself. So coding is converting of an designed solution into some programming language. So next we have a testing. Now I am done with the coding. I have specified, I have created some of the programs, but I must check whether it is working properly or not, whether it is consisting of any of the errors or not. So if yes, I need to check that, I need to debug that. Debug in the sense what? I need to remove that errors. So if there is some mistakes in my document, if there is some mistakes in the requirement analysis and all, I have to make a changes over there, and I need to make it possible to get error-free data. So testing is nothing but it is a checking and correcting of the errors. So that is also considered as what? Debugging. If you are correcting the errors, that is debugging. So if you are checking the errors, that will be testing. Okay. Next we have a implementation. Now I have a data and information which is my error free. So then only I can go with implementation. It is a stage of project during which the theory is turned into practice. I did everything in the form of theory. Now I want it to be implemented as a practical thing. It has to give us suggestions, it has to give a solution for the problem of a user. So for that purpose, we will be having this implementation. Next we have a maintenance. Once it is implemented, it has to be maintained throughout the lifespan of this particular system. So the review of the system from time to time. So here what it will going to do, so from time to time we have to check whether all the requirements are working properly or not. If it is not working properly, we have to revalidate it, we have to do it again. Okay, so this is regarding what? These are the steps of SDLC, and it is important for 15 marks also. We'll see the next type of development, that is prototyping. As I told, prototyping is like a dummy model. I'm not going to create any of the actual system. Instead of that, I will just collect the data from the user. Once the requirement of the user is done, then only I will start with the development of the information system. So it is a rapid development and testing of working models or prototypes of new application in an interactive, iterative process that can be used by both IS specialists and business professionals. Who can use this prototyping? Can be used by IS specialist as well as business professional. This prototyping is somehow like trial and error method. So if this requirement is not working properly, then I won't lose anything, because that is a dummy model. It does not, we are not paying anything directly, we are not developing any of the physical system. Instead of that, I'm just doing with the virtual thing. So if it is virtual, it will not cost anything. So if some of the requirements needed to be added, it can be done easily. I wanted to delete some of the requirement, it can be happened in an easy manner. Okay, so for that purpose, this prototyping will going to make the development process in a very faster manner, and it will be easier, especially when the project where the end user requirements are hard to define. They don't know, for today they may get 5 requirements, by tomorrow they may get another 5 requirements. So when their requirements getting changed, when their requirements are hard to specify, at that time we have to go with this prototyping methodology. So this prototyping process includes, so what and all it includes? I wanted to develop a system. I need to develop a system like which must be efficient, should satisfy the requirement of a user. that too rapid change of a requirement of a user. Then what are the steps it includes? So it includes investigation. So I have to investigate what are the requirements of the user. Then analysis needs to be done, and I have to design and implementation, converting of a programming languages or any of the functional codes into physical module. Then maintenance, it has to be updated day to day basis. Okay, so this is regarding prototype, and it is also important question for 5 marks. We'll see the next topic, that is RAD, Rapid Application Development. If I am giving 5 requirements, then they are going to develop a system for 5 requirements. So if I am giving another 10 requirements by tomorrow, they will add another 10 requirements to the existing system, and they will give you the new system that is related to rapid application development. As the name indicates, rapid in the sense what? It is not going to take much time, or it will not going to be long-term process. It will be instantaneous process. So it refers to the development life cycle to develop a system very quickly without sacrificing their quality. So if they are developing in a very quick manner, that does not mean that they are not satisfying the quality. With the quality and with the quantity, they are giving you the application that is related to rapid application development. So this RAD is an integrated set of strategies, methodologies and tools that exist within an overall framework called information engineering. So in this information engineering, it has strategies, methodologies and some tools will be there. By using all these data, by integrating all these data, they are developing a information system in a faster manner, and it will be easier too. Then what are the methodology they are going to use? They are going to do some strategies, like it has to be satisfy the customer requirements as fast as possible, as well as it should not sacrifice the quality of the information system. By keeping all those strategies, they are going to develop the information system. Then what are the methodologies they are going to use? It includes planning and user design and constructions, and it has a cutover which is not required. So today I am going to give 5 requirements. By tomorrow I may feel that another 2 requirement is not required, then I require only 3. At that time they are just going to do the cut over of the requirement of a user. Okay, so these are the methodology. Then what are the tools they are going to use in order to implement this rapid application development? They are going to use 4th generation language and computer aided engineering. So we are going to call that as a case. Okay, this is regarding rapid application development. So in this end user development, an individual will going to develop, like they are going to develop you and your other business professional, like by integrating another business professional or another system analysis. By integration of those 2 people, can develop new or improved ways to perform your jobs. For example, you no need to have a direct contact with this IS specialist. So instead of that, you can have some of the business analysts with you or a business professionals with you. So by giving your strategies or by giving your plans and requirements, you and them will going to integrate some of the technologies, methodologies, tools in order to develop a new systems or in order to improve the efficiency of the existing system. So that can be possible with this end user development or end user application development. So this application development capabilities built into variety of end users software packages have made it easier. So by making all these improvements, by not concerning about any of the IS specialist and all, it will going to make this development very easier for many users to develop their own computer-based solution. So I can create my own computer-based solution as per my requirements, as per my thoughts and plans, without asking to any of the IS specialist. I hope you all understood related to this topic. This is related to what? Development of information system. Next we have system analysis and design. Individually it can be asked for 5 marks or it can be asked for 10 marks together. Okay, then what is this system analysis? How it will going to be done? What is this system design? How it will going to be done? We'll see now. So this system Analysis and design is concerned with the study of various operations to be performed by the system and their relationship with and outside the system. How one system or how the components or what are the operation it is taking place, how it is related to one system to another system, and how it is coordinately working to each other. All these analysis will be termed as what? System analysis. So this will going to involve the aspect of a following system development. So if I wanted to have a system development, I have to analyze the system in 3 dimensions. That is what a feasibility study, and I need to check out with a requirement analysis, I need to check out with a structured analysis. So we'll see the first type, that is feasibility study. Already we know about the terminology called feasibility study. So in this, it is a process of determining whether a system is appropriate in the context of the organizational resource and constraints and meets the user requirement. Are we building a system or information system which will going to satisfy the requirements of a user within a given time, within a given money or a cost? That is related to what? Feasibility study. We are checking whether it is possible or not. If it is yes, then how much time it requires? What are the operations it has to perform? So if not, then we won't bother, and we will think about why it cannot be possible in order to implement that system, information system. Next we have requirement analysis. So in this requirement analysis, the analysis is done about who requires what information, on what time, and when and why. Okay, this is all about WH questions. So we are just thinking about the requirements of whom, when they require, what they require, why they require, at what time they require. That is related to what? Requirement analysis. So next we have a structured analysis. So it needs to be structured in manner and it has to be some standardization form. So it is a set of techniques and graphical tools and that allow the analyst to develop new kind of system specification that are easily understandable to the user. So by making use of some of the development tools or by making use of some of the techniques and graphical tools, the developer developing a new kind of system specification in order to satisfy the requirements of a customer. I have a requirements that needs to be satisfied by the system designer with the help of some of the techniques as well as some of the graphical tools. Then this structured analysis will going to include data flow diagram, and it has data dictionary, and it has a structured English, and it has a decision tree, and it has a decision table. So data flow diagram, how the data is moving from one system to another system. For example, if it is a data, how it is moving, whether it is moving horizontally, diagonally, how the data is moving from one system to another system, what is the flow of a data, that will going to be done in the data flow diagram. So data dictionary, already some predefined meanings are there. So by looking into that system, they are developing a system, and it will going to have some of the English words. So like it will going to deals with the if then. So if it is true, then it has to follow some procedures. If it is not true, then it has to follow some other procedure. So here also decision tree, it is also called as hierarchy. Okay. So if this system is okay, like if this condition is okay, either it has to follow this methodology or this methodology. Again, if this condition is okay, it has to follow either this methodology or that methodology. Like it is what minimum, maximum or true or false kind things in the decision tree. And we have a decision table. These are the tools which comes under the structured analysis. This is related to what? System analysis. So analysis of a system in different perspective with the help of this feasibility study, and we have a requirement analysis, and then we have a structured analysis. Next we'll see the system design. We analyze the system. I got to know what are its strength and weakness. Then after getting all those things, how can I develop this system? How can I design this? That is related to system design. This will going to determine the success or failure of the system. System design. If you are not designing a system in a proper manner, then there could be a situation of getting failed. So here also the system design will going to determine the success or failure of the system. It will going to involves reviewing the system's information and functional requirements. Is all the functional requirements is working fine, and it will review the system information. What are the information the system consists of? Along with that, developing a model of the new system including a logical and physical specification of the outputs, input, processing, storage and procedure. These are the common things. If I am developing any of a new system, or if I am developing any of the physical specification along with a logical specification, it has to include all the input, output, storage, processing as well as the procedures. Okay. This is related to what? System design. And here also in the system design can be accounts into two steps. So if system design can be deal with two steps, which are those? One is logical design, or that is also called as conceptual design, and another one is physical design or detailed design. So in the logical design, I am not implementing anything. I am just conceptualizing it. I am just collecting all the data and information which is required for my decision and which is required for my design. And when it comes to the second type, that is physical design or detailed design, here also it will going to make that abstract, or it will going to convert this logical design into some physical design. So you can see here, this logical design contains input, output specification, and it has a file specifications as well as it will going to have a processing specification. What are the input and output I require, how it needs to be processed in a file, and how it will going to do the computation or processing. Then we have a second designing tool, that is physical design or detailed design. As I told, here just we are going to done with the theory part. Here it will be like practical. So it translates the abstract logical design into some specific technical design for the new system. So already we have some of the information which is abstract in nature. By converting that abstract of logical design into some specific technical design for the new system, that will going to be done in the detailed system or in the physical system. So the details of a output design, input design, data storage design and process design and procedure design. This will going to include the same thing. Here I have a design, but here I don't have a design. I have a theoretical part of the any of the information system in the conceptual data, but that will going to be implemented and designed in the detailed design. It's all about today's session. Let me meet you in the next session with the continuation of a module 4, that is developing information system only. Until that, keep learning, keep on growing. Thank you.